Good morning.
Minutes until church. It's gonna be a big one.
Can I go like this?
10.
I feel lazy today.
No.
I'll put my cut on.
Pants and a cut if you want to keep the tank top on. You know, we got people walking in there without shirts all the time, so it's fucking whatever. But
I just feel so comfortable right now, man.
Shorts then, but not those shorts.
What's wrong with these shorts?
Chain. Are you here to do like church or anything religious? You understand, like, you know,
my mom used to take me to church all the time.
Okay, you know, I like that. You know, the church is supposed to be respected and appreciated and stuff. Like, it's where your Sunday best, right?
Sure.
I am not saying anybody else has got to dress up or anything, but that is our holiest, sacredest of spaces. It's where we make all our decisions as a club. It's where we discuss the issues, where we express our opinions, our feelings, and our thoughts.
Is that why you always use that, like, you wear that, like, vest on Sundays?
Yeah. I mean, I got a couple of shirts and I wash the vest every week, but it's my Sunday vest.
I just never noticed it till now. That's why you look so spiffy, Marcus.
Yeah, because it's fucking church. But like, again, I get that not everybody has the same kind of values about it that I do, but it would be nice if we all had the same kind of respect for that space. And I'm not saying, you know, like, you gotta dress up, but wearing some pants and absolutely your cut, because if you stay in that room without your cut, I will get physical.
Bro, I definitely will wear my cut. I was just hoping that I could just put it on over this and call it a day.
I mean, look, if you want to get Larry to give an okay to it, I'll you know, it's whatever. Oh, Jesus Christ, Shane.
Oh God, it's itching again.
Yeah, okay. Get a shower.
You know what? That's probably a good idea. All right, fine, Marcus. I'll go get dressed.
Appreciate you, brother. I'll see you in there.
Do we dare? Just go in there like this with the... Should we... I don't know if we should or not anymore. Let's go with this sleeveless. Let's stop fucking around. Confirm. Hello everybody, welcome. How you doing, Christian? How you doing, Shamavi? How you doing, Ghost King? Do I know who's gonna be? Who do we think is gonna get VP? It doesn't. No one knows until the vote gets done. No one knows. It is up between, from what I recall, it's up between Flint and Jax. What up, Boston? Is that some Kush? What, dude? I think that's the. I think my bot messed up. I think it chose Bala Kush today. Good evening. Why would he? If he locks the door, does that mean I can't go in?
Open it.
So why would he lock the door? Okay. You all right? Oh. Meditating. Was it 622?
Oh, you're just the best.
Every time I see Vivi, I give her.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're the best.
No, you.
No, you.
Okay.
Wait, what's he done?
Yeah, I'm the best.
He handed me a joint.
Where's mine?
You didn't. Do you want one?
I remember giving you my last joint like a week or two ago.
You don't have any more?
No, that's my last one. I get them all off you and I haven't seen you since.
Let's see, you're 669. There you go. You got a lighter?
Thank you. No, but I'm not gonna smoke it right now. A little bit later.
What?
I said no, but I'm not gonna have it now.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Found it in a car over by the casino.
Okay.
Still got a lot of juice in it, so you're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. A pair of melons.
Really weird having you over here.
Yeah, he gave me his pair of melons.
We love a juicy pair of melons.
Yeah, there were pairs of melons in the fridge.
You might notice Maddie over there, two people away from Shane. Two people to the left of Shane has the same cut as Shane because they're both now tail gunners. Maddie was voted in as tail gunner, I think last church or the 2 churches ago. This is probably the first time I've streamed church, I think. So this is, you guys are going to be able to see what church is all about. Sometimes it can be very slow, and then sometimes it could be some interesting things to talk about. What I wanted to capture today, guys, was how we do votes for like different like positions and flashes, if you will. And so like tonight we are voting for who's going to be the new vice president. Annabelle, who's next to Shane, the left of Shane right now, stepped down. So we are looking to do the vote, and it's we'll see what happens today. The vote, as far as I know, is between Flint and Jax. So we'll see how it goes. Ghost King. I mean, I don't mean to not answer your question, but I mean that's the whole goal of the stream. I think well, Shane feels the way he feels about who he's going to vote for tonight, and we'll see how it goes. Oh, did I stream church when I was first patched? Was that streamed? That was a long ass time ago, man. Man, I'm glad you guys have the memories, because I forget a lot of stuff. Long time ago, yeah. Let's see here. So we've done 75 joints. Yeah. And I need to fix the thing, but it looks like Shane's looking for Bala Kush today. That's what that means. So while we're sitting here, I will go and try to fix that. How's everybody's weekend going? If you're in the United States, you're probably getting ready, or you already partied a little bit this weekend for 4th of July. Be safe out there if you do anything crazy. Chat commands. Custom commands. Where we at? Strain. How did I break it? Yeah, happy early 4th. Happy early 4th. You know what I've caught myself doing lately? I'll be out, like, you know, doing stuff with the family or whatever it might be that whenever I'm not at the computer, and all of a sudden some of these songs that are like in the stuff that I play for like our characters and stuff will just jump into my head, and I'll just start singing it and stuff like that. What are those? I can't even tell what those are. I need to pull up the actual chat. What is that? Yeah, it's the same thing I see. What'd you send there, Austin? Oh, is a social distancing? Is that a social distancing fucking emote? Ow. What the fuck, bro? What was that for?
Oh, happy to see you.
That's how you... Okay. You know, I give joints to people when I'm happy to see them.
I feel like shit.
Fuck
What are you
yeah.
telling?
Late night?
Hey Shane,
Goodness.
speaking of
Early
late
morning.
night, do we want to talk about the fireworks in the fridge?
Sorry, there's
Huh.
fireworks in the fridge?
Yeah, there is.
I heard
Sounds
it
like a
makes...
metaphor, but it's not.
I might have accidentally done that. I'm not sure.
Well, Shane, you did light the Vikings fucking
Yeah, but I'm not
compound
gonna
on
do
fire
that
with
here.
fireworks. Why are they in the fridge then?
Nope. Well, to keep them, like, fresh.
Oh,
Well, I
that's
mean-
not a thing. That is not a thing.
I thought it helps with gunpowder.
It's. Go
I
ahead,
could have
Joe,
swore I
sorry.
read
Well,
that somewhere.
I was just gonna say it kind of makes sense because if the fireworks get hot and they go boom, wouldn't you want to keep them cold so they go moob?
My man.
It's not. No, that's not a thing. You
Yeah,
know how
don't-
hot that gunpowder would have to get to light? Really hot. Don't you side with him on this, Travis? I swear, you're getting him.
That just kind of makes sense, though. I could dig it.
Shane, that's not a thing. Stop
y'all
putting
ever heard of
fireworks.
cigarettes in the fridge?
It might have been like I was really
Isn't
high.
that
And
for a freshness of the tobacco thing, though?
Kinda, yeah. It depends upon which cigarettes you smoke, because
Fair.
it's just rat poison now.
True.
I knew a guy that did that with his smokeless tobacco. Throw it in the freezer.
Smokeless tobacco?
Yeah, dip.
Chew.
Or chew, yeah.
I thought you were saying some weird thing like a vape. I was like, what the fuck is that? Shane, did you take a shower today?
Nope.
Didn't.
Which could be why I'm like still like itching back here.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
Permission to stay in this far away.
I love it. Don't let anybody. Don't ever change.
I mean, I don't
Do
plan
take
to.
off your hat.
God damn it, Marcus. Ah.
With the same
Actual
hand?
headband like we have.
Ew.
What? It's fine.
I think
it's
Go
alright.
wash your hands. Shane, go wash your hands right now.
I got gloves on.
I don't care. Go wash.
Yeah, but you,
Go
but
take
if
your
you
gloves
touch
off and throw them back.
something else, you spread it.
All right, I'll just take the gloves off then.
Okay.
You better put
I'll
those in
accept
your
that.
damn bag.
Okay,
What else is in his
Go
bag?
where you're gonna.
Family. We were trying to figure out what her combo name would be.
Who?
Brit Thamarin.
Oh shit, my bad.
Oh, we did crit.
This motherfucker's got like, what are those back?
Forgot what we said earlier. It was like
Look.
Britium.
Camity.
Camity? Oh, it's like calamity almost.
Yeah, she is a calamity.
No, that's me.
Your calam. Oh, right, that's your Blood Knight Bouts thing.
Was that your wrestler name?
Yeah.
Is that your Lucha Librador fucking?
Lucharan!
Nacho.
Nacho!
It's the Lord's Jeeps.
What? What did he just say?
He's the Lord's Jeeps.
I guess that works since we're in church.
Have you not seen Nacho Libre?
Not sure what?
Shane's more like a 1970s movie kind of guy. He is an old soul.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch. What does old soul mean?
You're from the South. You know what old soul means.
Yeah, you're right. I do.
Try that shit.
Sitting on his porch drinking sun tea. Get off my lawn.
That's how they know that. That's how they.
19, relax.
That's how they give me a zinger for being a 40-year-old playing a 22-year-old. They call me an old soul.
If you don't have weed, get off my lawn.
Looks like I'm staying on your lawn all day, baby.
Oh, that's your lawn.
Man, he was not present. Yeah, he was not present for that. Oh,
He was
shit.
checked out.
Wait, what? Did I miss something?
God,
Yeah.
please don't ever change. Holy shit.
What?
Sorry, buddy.
Did I guess I missed something.
Sorry.
Does a full English breakfast kind of cure hangovers and shit?
I mean, I feel like it would. There's a lot of like greasy shit in the full English. I feel
Yeah,
like
there's
the blood
also
pudding.
pig's blood.
Well, that's the
Blood
thing. I feel
sausage.
like, yeah, I feel like all of that shit would just be like magic.
I like magic.
All the fucking, what is it? It's not just toast. It's like fried toast, fried bread.
What?
You're basically saying toast, man.
What?
No, it's like
Yeah, but don't they do it differently? They don't like throw it in a toaster.
Grease.
Yeah, it's like
Pan fried.
it's thicker. It's like Texas toast.
It's still toasted. It doesn't matter if you put it at. Do you
Whoa,
think it
whoa,
has to
whoa.
be?
How you toast it determines what it is.
No.
Texas toast.
Pizza is not just toast with sauce on
You
it.
don't put bread in the oven and call it pizza, though.
But you can put bread in the oven and call it fried bread.
No, it's just fucking toast.
No, it's not.
Because it didn't come
Travis
out of a
Jax, if you guys
toaster.
continue fucking screaming, I will literally throw you the fuck out of this room. I cannot do that right now. Thank you.
Second.
That strong. He's not that strong. He's really weak right now. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I think we're okay.
Okay. And another thing.
Just because it comes out of the toaster doesn't make it that it's toast. You can toast.
It's called a toaster.
No, but that just means it toasts the bread. If you toast it in the oven on broil, it's still fucking toast.
No, then it's baked bread.
It's.
Oh,
I,
cut it out. Oh my god.
Spaghetti is not a pasta.
Don't go there, please. Stop. Stop.
All right, enough of this.
hot dog's a sandwich. Water's wet.
Violence. I'm seeing violence.
Pop tarts are just breakfast ravioli.
That's true. That one
That's
I'm
also
gonna argue
true.
with.
Wait, what's the difference between ravioli and dumpling?
An Italian makes ravioli and everybody else makes a dumpling.
Oh my god.
Dumpling only goes with chicken. Chicken can go with ravioli plus other things.
Why do we always argue about food?
Because we're all fat.
I'm not.
I like to eat.
Think for yourself.
I just did.
Oh, well. It's all right to be wrong.
Oh my god.
Sure, we
Okay, now I
can
feel like
win.
shit. Nice hair.
Thanks.
Not you. I don't know what the hell you're doing with yours.
Fuck. I almost did a joke I shouldn't have made. It says you. Mr. I don't shower and it's held down by fucking body grease.
After a while, you just tend to like create an outer shell that just is what's the word?
You can do it. I believe in you.
Impenetrable.
Sound it out.
Do you, Jake? Does he still live at your house?
No,
No.
he didn't want to move back in.
Okay, Shane, where do you live?
That's a good
hotel.
question because the hotel guy kicked me out yesterday.
Oh no.
And no matter how much JJ and I threatened him, he did not give a shit.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think I'm
dressing
living
the
here.
part.
Wait, what?
Larry, we ready to go? You waiting for us to shut up?
Dude, he's probably playing Candy Crush over there.
I don't know if you guys are ready to go. I don't know if I'm ready to go either. But
We're
hold
ready
on.
to go.
Pull the trigger.
By the way, all these guys stayed up role playing until like 6:30 in the morning, my time, which is Central Time, and so these guys are probably all like dragging ass right now.
The nitty and gritty of things. Today's church is most likely gonna be one of those. I have a lot of things to say about a lot of different stuff that has come to my attention over a couple of days. And there's a couple of things that I quite frankly thought we were done with that has once again resurfaced with a very specific a vote coming up. Before I dive into all that and before I piss everyone off, I'm gonna throw it to sponsors to talk a little bit about their prospects. So go ahead.
All right, we'll talk about Liz, I guess. Liz has been doing good. She's a very big yes sir, yes ma'am type, which is good but also bad. I want to work with her a little bit on kind of thinking for herself a little bit, but she's early on in the prospect phase, so that's very common to see. Me and Maddie would like to preface, like, moving forward, if you guys have a task for Liz to do, could you just come to us first? Because we have her on 2 tasks, and then Maddie can go into a little bit more detail since he was the one that was told, but a couple members, or I guess a member, approached her with another task, so we don't want to overload prospects with all these tasks, because if they fail, it looks bad on them in their minds, and we don't want to, like, you don't want the prospects to think that they're doing a shit fucking job and then leave because they feel like they're not making any progress. But overall, she's doing good. Yeah, if you want to go into a little bit more of what she brought to you.
You want me to go in depth on what the exact thing was, too, or?
Might as well.
Okay. Well, we had a member go up to her a few days ago, wanting to have a task of her getting a bag of cocaine for him. So obviously, there are many things wrong with that. But first and foremost, just any task, just bring it up to us. If you want to do something with the prospects, that's totally fine. That's different than giving a task. That's spending time together. You have a task that you want to get done and bring prospect along. That's totally different than assigning a task. But also with Liz, just to know, this month she'll be in and out quite a bit. There may be some days where she could be here the full day, and there could be a few days where she is here for maybe 30 minutes to an hour for several days straight. But July is going to be a tough month for her activity, which she was very open to Jax and I about, and we understand.
Chase's sponsor.
I think either of them are here. Anyone else want to say anything about Chase?
I think he's been doing a good job.
Is your hater too there, Indigo?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Chase is like, he's respectful. He's responsive. Like, I don't know. He's just got a good head on his shoulders about doing shit. I know in the war, it's been a little harder to do the usual kind of prospect rigmarole, but he's kept his eyes up, gone where he's been told, stayed where he's needed to stay, got out of the way, and, you know, also managed to handle other prospect duties that I've seen pretty well. Again, not his sponsor, not as spending as much one-on-one time with him, but I think he's on a pretty damn good start.
Jax. All right, thanks. Yeah, I mean, with the whole when he came with us to the tubing thing, I threw him through just some general questions, you know, just to kind of understand a little bit more about him, since I voted no on him because I hadn't really met him. I think the conversations I have had with him, he doesn't definitely, like Marcus said, have a good head on his shoulders. He's genuinely, like, I feel like he just fits in with his energy and his, like, level of, like, humor and just, like, everything else. It doesn't feel like he's trying too hard or not trying enough by any means. He took the whole prospect dress up thing in stride, laughed about it, loved it, you know, and he was in a pretty fucking goofy setup that was, during a time of war, pretty fucking embarrassing. So anybody with an ego probably would have had it hurt really harshly, but he took it in stride, and he's been doing good from what I've been noticing and what people have been saying.
He lets me punch him in the face a lot. It's kind of fun. But to be fair, I'm teaching him how to get better at fighting. So, but he's been, like everyone said, pretty respectful.
Gunshots?
Gunshots.
I did not hear.
I didn't hear it either.
They sounded
I heard a
faint, so
couple.
they're probably gas station-ish area.
Though I wouldn't put it past them to shoot our bikes while we're in church.
It'd be the first time somebody's done stuff to her bike.
Here's a flower. Expect more. Fucking lasers. Oh.
What? A flower?
Does somebody have a electronic device?
Who's like a phone in here?
Jay, let me look in your bag.
It was my fucking watch, man.
Do you want to
Could be
look
a
at this
tablet.
bag? You know the gloves are in there, right?
Fair.
You want to have the gloves?
Yeah,
I can
the
give you
gloves.
gloves.
No, if you
The
touch
weed
me
is
with those
truly
gloves,
skunky
I will
now.
throw you out of that window.
Okay. Jesus.
I don't think you will, because those windows were hard to get.
He's jumped out of the window before. He'll throw.
No, I haven't,
somebody
Anna.
out.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
Would they be arse gloves or glove arse?
Ass gloves.
Oh, that just sounds nasty.
I don't know. They seem
You
like
did it,
toilet
mate.
paper for how often they're
Get
up
out
it.
your, get your finger out your butt.
Are you telling me that none of you scratch your ass before?
Not as deep and as fucking
You were
intimate as
going
you
for it,
just
though.
did.
You were up there,
I'm
mate.
literally doing it right now, man.
Okay, see?
A
No
little
one's-
scratch is
Like on the
different than a big. Oh yeah, that was.
Were
I
you,
needed
like,
that.
On your cheek though, because it looked like, you know what I mean? There's going in. There's-
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Well, Shane, I don't judge you.
In a bathroom,
Do,
buddy.
do you need
messed
a
up.
bidet, Shane? So
I
that
think
way it's clean and it doesn't get itchy.
You know,
I don't even know how to use those.
Shoots
most
water
of the
up your
time
butt.
most of the time I just sit down and do business. Do we even have one here?
A bidet? No.
A bidet?
Well,
We can get them.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
getting
we
one.
could get
Jess, write us a check for some bidets.
We need some clean, nice toilets before we get bidets.
We'll yell at the prospects more then. Prospects! Clean the toilets. We need bidets.
Or you may need to yell a little bit louder to wake Larry up.
Larry,
I
are you dead?
remember when, like, years ago, we had prospects cleaning toilets.
We have no way if they need help or anything.
Oh, yeah, like what? Did we want to send 2 more out there? Oh.
3 went out.
They already have a lot of people out there.
I'm just gonna grab a radio
Fine.
and check.
Yeah, prospects were treated a lot differently, like a couple of years ago to what they are now.
Are you guys good?
They still tend to clean. It's just that's usually like their first week and a half before they're thrown into other stuff.
MP, I'm not gonna lie, dude. My new favorite emote is the pick butt emote. Not like I love it. I just do it randomly just to see if anybody picks it up.
Oh my god.
Huh?
I think I saw a broom in that man's hand twice.
I saw him clean many times.
What? You talking about me cleaning?
Maybe.
I mean, look at how clean his head is. He did a good job cleaning that club.
Fair, yeah, it's pretty shiny.
Secondly, I did do a lot of cleaning right up until somebody felt like they needed to get up at the fucking ass crack of dawn to do it before everybody else could.
Gotta do it before.
He treated it like a farm.
Can you guys just come back to church? The sooner we can get this church done, the sooner we can focus on all that. Yes, I have my radio with me.
I mean, that's fair. We're technically in conflict.
Can you clue us in on anything that went down over there? Did they find out anything?
PBC are in the park.
Oh.
Of course, they fucking would too.
Of course they would. And this is what they do. The moment we're
They're
not
cowards.
like available, they're there. The moment we are, they disappear. And then they come and deliver us fucking roses.
Can't wait to get
very
the
kind
box
of
of
them.
roses next month.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about mine. Like, where is it?
Can we make tea out of the rose petals?
Oh, want to have a nice
you
romantic
make
bath.
tea
You
out
know
of
what I mean? A group romantic bath.
Yeah.
Be beautiful.
Did no one give him the memo that Jess likes wrenches instead of roses?
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I feel like Jess would dip the stems of roses in poison and then hurt people with them.
Fuck
We
yeah.
don't need to give
Fuck yeah.
Jess any ideas to be
We
any
can put on the
scarier
farm
than
as
she
well, and that
already
way
is. She
it's
already
on
gives
the
me
farm.
nightmares.
Bam.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Just a couple of smaller things to mention. Crypto is becoming a thing again. There is a laptop with a crypto app on it now. You can buy it at any like electronic store. The only way you can get crypto is from crypto cards. There is a bronze, silver, and gold one that you can find by robbing houses, robbing cars, and things like that. Container found a bronze one the other day, and Chase found a silver one yesterday. I tried the card with the card reader. It pretty much just scans the palm coin onto the app effectively. So not a huge thing, but it's something worth looking for if people want to get into all that. We don't know how to make card readers. We don't know where people get them, but JJ has a contact that he can buy them from for like $1,500.
What up, Juan? How you doing?
There's also sickles now, like the type of thing you use in the 1980s classic Conan the Barbarian to get plant fiber. and supposedly you can use it as a weapon and smack people with it. Not really much knowledge about any other function of that fucking sickle, but I don't really care.
Gardening store, so plants.
Yep, I was going to say that.
Why?
You get it at
Use
the
them
gardening store,
somewhere.
so it's probably for cocaine. Or weed. Maybe you get a better yield.
Yeah, it is at the gardening store though, so it's not only in cars.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can buy them.
Yep,
Yeah,
never
they're
heard
like
of them using
$50.
So they may have a purpose.
Probably higher yield because you're gonna cut the plant better, whatever the plant may be.
They also cut people pretty good too.
Yes.
Could be used to get rid of dead plants, but either way.
Moving on. There's another thing on like topic of random shit, but I'm gonna bring it up a little bit later where I'm gonna ask people to put their earplugs in, but they don't have to do that yet. There has been a Intel book overhaul by Ross and Maddie. It's a little bit more kind of like easier to kind of find things and add things and things like that now. So if you don't know anything about anything, I recommend you check out the Intel book, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot about a lot of people. There is a lot of information in there. I'm gonna jump into the subject of our current ongoing quote-unquote conflict, and if certain people could put their earplugs in and all that for the time being, that'd be great. But I just have a couple of things to say that.
We're talking about that stuff right now.
Yes.
Guys, if you hear Larry talking, let me know. All right. Good. You might not hear anything that's going on right now because this is private stuff right now that I can't stream. Hopefully we're almost done, guys.
All right. On to the fun part. Church.
You guys should be able to hear Larry now.
I'm gonna speak a little bit about this, and then I'm gonna give it over to Ross to speak a little bit about a couple of things. But I'm gonna be very brutally honest, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I've been hearing and what I've learned over last couple of days, to be completely transparent, to not kind of like sidewind anyone. Obviously, we have a VP vote coming up today. If you didn't already know, there's 2 people in the running for it. Britt turned down her nomination because she doesn't feel ready for it yet. And we have Jax and Flint in the running. With this vote, there has been a lot of things happening around in this club that I don't, to this day, understand how people here think that talking behind other members' backs does not come back to me. It does every single fucking time. You guys can try and be smart about it. You can try and do this as under the table as possible. But at the end of the day, I always find out. This past week, I have had 4 incidents of people threatening to put down their flashes. I've had 1 incident of a threat of going nomad if a certain person wins the vote. I have heard bickering. I have heard people weaseling, for a lack of a better word, behind others people's backs to try and flip, I guess, people's opinions on different people. I'm not going to go into detail as to exactly who has done what. I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to say another thing. But I'm going to be brutally fucking open with this. That if I hear people use their flashes, their patches, or anything else as some sort of fucking leverage or way to just fucking get an easy way out, if I hear that shit, I will just fucking take it. And a prime example of that is yesterday, where a member that is carrying a flash, I tried to have a conversation with them. They started using their flash as some sort of threat towards me. I got my knife and I ripped that shit off. And that is what I'm gonna do going forward if people keep doing this. Because at the end of the day, we are a club. We are a family. Every single one of you should have each other's backs, no matter what. I understand that, you know, people have opinions on who should be where in terms of flashes and responsibilities and all that. You're entitled to your own opinion. But talking shit about other members of this club to get your way with certain votes, I'm not going to stand for it. And I never will. And we have had this a lot in the past, and it's been covered a lot in the past. And quite frankly, over the last probably, I don't know, 8 to 10 churches, there has been no case of that. And I really thought we were over with it. This past week, I've learned so much about so many people that are doing this, and it's childish, it's unnecessary, and it just shouldn't happen. The person that had their flash taken yesterday, I ended up having a like 1 to 2 hour conversation with to explain a lot about this club's history, a lot about my thought processes about a lot of things, and why I did what I did. And after actually having a conversation, hearing my side of things and letting them, you know, talk about their side of things, that flash was given back. But going forward, I don't want anyone to be surprised if I just rip a patch off or a flash off if people start threatening me with it. Because if you start threatening me with a patch, a flash, you fucking name it, or even your cut, at the end of the day, that means to me that it means nothing to you. And you don't deserve to carry it. And I hope that is very fucking clear. Ross, do you want to take it from here?
Well, you touched on a lot of things I was gonna say, but I am fucking disappointed after hearing and seeing the things I saw this week, but especially from one of our enforcers. Give me a moment.
That's her mini tablet, not her phone. She got one of those tablet minis.
She has it in her notes on her phone, probably.
What's going on, PP? By the way, are those prescription? No. You gotta take them off.
I apologize.
I know, I just don't want you to get yelled at by Marcus.
Just say the prescription next time, fucker.
Yeah, stupid. That's why I was
What Larry didn't mention, and what I want to talk about, is the same person who had his fucking flash pulled decided to come at someone who removed himself from a situation, recognizing that they were going to say something fucking stupid if they didn't. He chased them down and kept poking at them just so he could get a fucking rise out of them. And while doing so, Britt did what she does best and tried to calm things fucking down. If any of you disrespect Britt like he did, no. We do not look at our chaplain and ask her why she's inserting herself. We do not look at our chaplain and ask, what do you do? We don't do that. We don't fucking do that. It is not okay. It is not what I expect from anyone. And it's fucking uncalled for. And to admit later on to other people that you were doing it just to get a rise from one of the people running, just to prove that he's fucking not fit, that is not... That is the worst fucking way about it. And if Larry saw fit to give him back his flash last night, so be it. But I personally do not trust him, and I do not trust people that are gonna disrespect anyone in the club like that. lie, and then threaten to leave if a vote doesn't go a certain way. It is fucking disappointing. We do not threaten to leave family because you don't agree with something. We fucking talk. We don't disrespect the person that it's their responsibility to help us talk to each other. And I should hope that everyone has learned something this week in watching how some people are acting. And I should hope that that encourages you to actually fucking talk to each other like civil human beings.
It's a floating cigarette there.
And whatever the fuck happens today, talk to people in the club after. Don't fucking storm off. Don't fucking throw a hissy fit. Talk to people, communicate, because we're adults. We are not children on a playground stomping their foot because they're not getting their way. All right? We're a family, so fucking act like it and grow the fuck up. I'm done.
Yeah. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people this week in the club. Kind of hearing out their side of things, hearing out their perspective on things. And one common thing that has come up a lot is that people are kind of a little bit done with this whole talk behind each other's backs thing, and trying to like pit people against each other and all that. And I understand that a lot of you don't see any of this, but this has been a problem for a while. As I've told everyone that I've had these conversations with, we have church for a reason. We have members table for a reason. We are a incredibly free and open club for a reason. Anyone here in this room should be able to fucking talk to the person across from them about fucking anything they have an issue with. If fucking Shane has an issue with fucking Indigo, and it's clearly affecting them, which then affects the club, they should be able to just pull each other aside, have a conversation, figure out what the fucking problem is, and solve it. It's not that fucking hard. But instead, member A goes to member B and goes, oh, this guy does this and that, and like, I can't stand him, man. Oh. And then that comes back to person like fucking C, and then it comes back to me, and then it's a fucking endless cycle of dumb shit. So, as I've said many times before, it's time that we grow up a little bit. And it's time that we start like trusting each other to not fucking blow the fuck up, to trust each other to be able to fix shit in between each other, and drop this whole personal fucking dumb shit that is going on between certain members. Just square it the fuck up. I understand that people have problems with how this and this person did something, but how the fuck are you gonna fix that if you're gonna pout about it for fucking 7 months? Open your fucking mouth and talk about it. Yes, Cameron.
I just wanted to add in one thing to that.
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you, Cameron, but I don't know if Larry can.
I'm talking as loud as I can, so.
Larry, can you hear Cameron?
Yeah.
Can you hear anybody?
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I've been hearing more than once lately that people straight up hate each other, and that is the worst thing that I can hear from a group like this that is supposed to take care of each other and not straight up, like, I can understand dislike. I can understand disagreements. I can understand never ever seeing eye to eye, but straight up hate, I can't fathom here. And I think that if this situation is true, that we need to start working that out. Because that's just gonna grow this seed of it's the bad spot on the apple. It's only gonna grow. So we need to cut that shit out. That's all I got.
Maddie.
It's not a hard topic to approach. For example, I pissed Bubba off earlier this week, which also pissed Brett off. I talked with both of them, squared it away super fucking easy. All you have to do is approach people, take some time away from it if you need to, then talk to them about it. Majority of time, if you get both sides out and come to an understanding, you're good. And if you're having a problem with even trying to be able to talk with someone about your issues with them, utilize your chaplain to fucking set up a meeting between you two to go over what's going on. It's not hard at all.
I'm not talking about just disagreements. I'm talking.
I know.
This is much deeper and much harder to fix than a simple chaplain talk.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying that if people are having trouble to the point where they hate each other to not even be able to talk to see if they can work some things out, I think going to your chaplain could be a good option to have a mediator there. That's what I mainly meant.
The fucking problem is no one knows how to fucking communicate. It's always been a fucking problem, and it's gonna keep being a fucking problem. Some parts have gotten better, but other parts haven't.
Yep. Starting today, if I see this shit from any member, be it a patch member, an enforcer, a tail gunner, cabinet, whoever the fuck it is, I will literally drag you by your ear into this room and lock you in here with whoever you have an issue with until you solve it. I'm done with this. If you guys can't start handling this and start communicating, harsher punishments will start to be given out, because this needs to be solved. Shit like this is the once again the kind of like deathbed of any club, when it starts all this fucking internal drama and people dislike each other and they refuse to fix it, and then eventually the entire thing fucking implodes. So just fucking communicate. We are going to segue into the vote of our new vice president. That's a great segue, I know. After things I've heard this week, I expect people to live up to what they've said to other people if this vote goes through, and if you know, you're not getting the outcome you want, I think it's time that people man the fuck up and live up to what they're stating behind people's backs. And if you don't, I'll call you out on it.
Looks like we got a little bit of juicy drama, internal drama, guys.
Obviously, we're lacking a vice president at the moment, which was discussed last week when Anna stepped down. You were given a week to campaign for yourself, and today we're going to make the vote. There are currently, as I said, 2 people that have their name in the pot, being Flint and Jax. And for people that have asked me, they know my opinions. But I'm gonna share with you all my kind of expectations, and also my thoughts a little bit. My expectations for vice president is pretty simple. Obviously, to carry out their responsibilities as per the bylaws. I want an active vice president, someone that I can rely on to help me out with whatever I need help with. I need someone that can challenge me on, my ideas and things I want to do and things like that. If they don't think that that is the right direction, I want them to call me out on it and have a discussion. The vice president, because I'm an antisocial motherfucker, I also need them to be capable of handling meetings that I might not make it to. I need them to be able to be a little bit out there, as I wouldn't say the face of the club, but out there making connections and things like that if I'm not doing it. The next thing that is very important to me is that people realize that, yes, being the VP effectively means that you're the second in command of this fucking club. But as I've stated so many times before, these flashes are responsibilities. It is not a quote-unquote hierarchy or fucking command structure. Cabinet is here to kind of come up with ideas for the future of this club, to then have the club pave the path based on, those ideas. So it's important that whoever gets vice president doesn't let that go, to their heads. Quite honestly, I'm not going to go in on, my thoughts on each individual, but I'm going to state something that I think everyone here needs to hear, and both of you need to hear before we throw this vote. I don't think either of you are necessarily a perfect fit for vice president as it stands. I think both of you have a lot of things that needs to be sorted out for you guys to be a quote-unquote perfect vice president per this club. And honestly, that would be the case for any member of this club at this moment of time that have put their name in it. It takes time to adjust to that responsibility. It takes time to grow into it, and it takes time to figure out how to best do it. So throughout, the starting period of this, I asked the entire club to have a little patience with it. There are gonna be a lot of talks with myself and whoever becomes the vice president, and a lot of quote-unquote teachings from myself to kind of help them mold into, a good vice president for this club. But without further ado, I'll let them kind of take a minute to talk for themselves before we throw it to a vote. So, whoever of you wants to start, go ahead.
Up to you, Flint. If you don't want to say anything, I'm down with that too.
I did my best to pull aside everyone that I needed to talk to, which is all of you. Not getting to some of you is on me, and the people that I did talk to, the people I didn't talk to, I'm still going to approach you and talk to you, and that's not going anywhere, and it's not going to stop just because I win or lose. I'm doing this for the club, and I love each and every one of you, and that's it.
For me, I appreciate all of you that pulled me aside and asked me questions and things like that. As you know, I don't. Every time I've ever ran for anything, I hate campaigning. I think it's dumb, in my opinion. But me and Flint have had a conversation just before this church, and we both have very similar ideals on what we want to do as VP if either of us get it. So regardless of who does get it, I feel confident in saying that this club is in good hands moving forward. And, you know, at the end of the day, I just want you guys to vote for who you believe is best for this club and not best for you.
All right. We shall throw it to a vote. Basically, how it works is you're just gonna state the name of whoever you think should be our next vice president. Myself and Ross will obviously count the votes, and then we'll tally it up at the end with the proxy votes as well. So, without further ado, sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this again because I'm tired and English. Who should our next VP be? Marcus.
Flint.
Do you want me to read off the proxies now or last?
We can do it at the end.
Okay. Jax.
Maddie.
Hold on, I want to eat a melon. Jax.
Anna.
Jax.
Shane.
Jax.
PP.
Jax.
I don't know if he's talking or not, but if he is, I can't hear him.
I said Jax.
Jax.
Cameron.
Flint.
Jake.
Flint.
Travis.
Jax.
Indigo.
Flint.
Vivi.
Flint.
Jess.
Jax.
Let's see what we got, guys. They're going to tally up the proxies along with everyone that live voted. Who do you think won?
I'm trying to think if I should vote on this or not, because I kind of like...
You voted on your sergeant.
You have a vote, Larry.
Well,
The only two people that don't.
You still have a vote. Marcus nominated and voted.
Fair. Mine's for Jax.
Woo! Woo!
What are the proxies, Ross?
I'm counting Caesar for Jax, Connor for Jax, Britt for Jax, Bubba for Jax, JJ for Jax, Brandon for Flint, Container for Flint, Amos for Flint.
Okay, give me a moment to do quick maths.
Quick maths.
8 for Jax.
Yep.
Boom.
All right. Ross, is that accurate? Just to, I want to make sure that it's 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Canadians are known for their bad countings, aren't you?
All right. Well, congratulations, Jax. I'll get you your patches and everything when we're done here. like I say every time, if things don't work out, they don't work out. And, you know, things can be done. If they work out, then that is fantastic. But at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. We'll, you know, move forward in a positive manner. And yeah, I think, as I stated before, I think with either options, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But I'm confident that either option would also be a great vice president for this club. So we shall see what happens. Yes, Jax.
For the people who did vote for Flant or whatnot, just pull me aside. I'd just like to know what I can work on to improve for you. And those of you who did vote for me, if you also have things that you think I need to work on, again, please pull me aside, tell me. Because, like Larry said, work in progress. And I want to make sure that it gets done the right way and that this family helps shape the way of this club and not just the select few.
Wait, I don't know if I'm just misremembering. Did you have your hand up, Ross, or no?
I'll bring it up later.
Okay. All right. What else? I honestly think that is what I am. And I'm not going to repeat everything I've said. I just hope that all of you take everything I've talked about today seriously. If you have any questions about it, you can pull me aside after your church. Now, as I tell everyone, I'm an open book. I don't have anything to hide. So if people have questions about anything, just do it. And then we'll figure shit out. Anyway, over to cabinet. Ross, you have anything?
I think just, I know we're in fucking conflict right now, but I think having some sort of group outing this week, or maybe even a differed version of Lotus trials, would be beneficial for everyone. So if we could maybe put our heads together to try and plan something, I think that would be needed. Yes?
Why don't you and Viv put together that tubing thing you were talking about? Or Viv was talking about, sorry.
Well, his wankers did it without me, so I mean...
Well, I mean, we did it before you emailed.
I fucking emailed you ages ago.
Yeah,
Listen,
but we did it like the day before.
No, you did it without me.
No, that was just, that wasn't a club outing. That was more so just, no, it wasn't. Viv,
You've all fucking went and you left me to try it.
we can do it again in a different place.
What up, Joe? How you doing, buddy?
Do it again.
Right,
Set it up for this week. Viv.
You and me are gonna make the sexiest one, right? I swear to fucking God, there's gonna be music and snacks.
Okay.
And it's gonna be great.
Okay, we'll talk after.
Deal.
Yeah, set it up for this upcoming week.
We did it more as a taunting towards Pillbox and less of
Yeah,
a
there
club
were a lot
outing.
of selfies.
Not even, you know. If
They did it recently. What the fuck?
Yeah, guys, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
They went out to taunt PBC.
Okay, well, we're.
I got to see Shane fall down a waterfall. It was the best moment of my life.
Scary shit.
I would like to plan something that forces us to be more together, though, because with outings, you know, it's easier to like gravitate to the groups we're comfortable in, and that's not the purpose of this, right? I like with the Lotus trials, you paired up people that probably typically wouldn't have gotten along or maybe didn't know each other well, and I think something like that is needed right now. So that's why I suggested something like that. I don't know. I'll talk to Viv regardless after, and we'll look at options, I guess. But I'm hoping you all agree with the idea.
Go get food and water.
Silence, great.
Go get food and water.
I was gonna say you could mix tubing into the trials.
Could.
Oh, what about tubing race? We could right, we get snacks, drinks, all that good stuff, and then we get on the fucking floaties, right? We just fucking hate
Look, as long as you don't call us wankers, I'm down.
Listen, when I say you're a wanker, it's me. I love
Can
it
you
all,
tube to Kaio, Mark? Is this?
Yes, it's a 2-hour trip.
I mean, if we're talking about Lotus trials, then we gotta make it a trial.
Please.
Considering, Shane, that I walked in and you were sniffing your hand, I don't think wankers is too out of line.
In his butt.
Listen, nothing wrong with a good old Hillary swank, you know what I mean?
Oh my Jesus.
Ayo.
Yeah,
what the fuck does that mean?
Hillary swank, it's a wank.
Hey, let's dive back in so we can get out of here.
Otherwise, I would also like input from both our most recent patchants, which would be Indigo and PP, but I guess any fucking words. And with people that sponsor the most, I am wanting to continue our intel book, but make a secretary type of book, and I want a section for our prospects and what they're assigned to do. So what Jack said earlier, hey, don't assign something to a prospect without talking to sponsors, blah blah blah. That way we can compile all our information of our sponsors and hangarounds in one page, and then be like when we last saw them, and you could put in fucking notes and whatever. That's just one of the pages, but that's something I want to work on. So if you have any ideas, or if that sounds like something you'd want to help with, let me know. But in particular, I would love to get the input of people that sponsor a lot, or the more recent newly made members. What was the problem when they were
newly made members?
you know what?
Threw them out back in the
I'm sorry.
Blossom.
You were just fucking struggling with English. Why can't I?
Wow.
God damn, shots fired. No guns in church.
It's not my primary language.
Shut the fuck up.
That's why.
What?
You grew up learning English, and
I ain't grew up
Larry did
learning
not.
shit. Shut up.
I don't. Damn.
Same.
Easy, Ross. Easy. Back off.
Anyway, I feel like I had more, but I don't remember it now. So I'll just pass it.
Was he putting on armor in the middle of fucking?
All I'm gonna say is she a deputy be.
Shane does have small feet. I agree.
Put yourself in timeout.
Oui.
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 Whoa, Brit, you're supposed to be in Canada.
Oui.
Good old Butchel isn't here, so we'll skip him. He said something at cabinet, but I can't really remember what he said.
Where's Larry from? What are we?
Sorry, I forgot to
don't
write
have-
it down.
Yeah, I noticed.
I forget every time we talk about it.
But yeah, keep up. What we've been doing is probably what he'd say. Also, as stated, Cameron is kind of filling in his shoes this upcoming week. So
His and Brent's. I'm better than you all twice as much.
Right. Jesus.
Yeah, basically, if you haven't noticed, we aren't sitting at the lab as much recently, but instead of sitting there, I want patrols out every 15 to 20 minutes during this period. And I want a checkup on the lab every 15 to 20 minutes. So if we're here at the compound, grab a group of 4, drive down there, check it out, make sure it's clear, and then continue, doing a little patrol of the park. Just to be present out there, and also keeping an eye on the lab. And as I stated previously, we're also gonna have more groups out there looking for things. Jess, you have anything?
Yeah, Jews will be going out this week. If you get your bail money back, please let me know and we'll get it off you. I think there's still a few of you left that haven't had it back yet. But that's everything.
All right. Travis?
No ride this Wednesday. No ride going forward until sorry, I don't feel comfortable bringing out more than just us on the road when we have targets on our back.
All right.
That's it.
We tested a new formation yesterday. It was pretty interesting. It was actually kind of fun. So good on you for that, Travis. Let's do that more.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 6 formations that I've come up with. Just got to get the road team set up with all of them. And speaking of road team, we still need a 3rd tail gunner if somebody wants to, join the road team.
All right. Britt isn't here, but Britt would probably likely also say a lot of the things that Ross said today. Britt wasn't too happy either about everything that has been going on this week. And that's about that. All right, let's throw it over to the members table to see if you guys have anything to talk about. And Anna was incredibly fast. Go ahead.
Hi. Small apology for not being down here the last half of this week. I've been in Paleto, catching up with my Paleto family and saying goodbyes. Tomorrow at 10 p.m. is when my flight leaves. I'll be in Washington with Yuri and my kid and his mom for a couple of days. Then I'm going to head over to Reno for a bit, just do a whole road trip on my bike. And then at some point cut down to California to check on my half-sister and make sure she's doing okay. Sometime at the end of the month, I'll fly back here, check in, say hi, make sure my dues are paid, all that stuff. But then I'll be heading out again for at least another month. If I'm here at the compound around 9 tomorrow, I'll need at least a couple people to escort me to the airport. But if I'm not here, don't worry about it, because I'll probably be incognito with my Paleto family getting me there.
Oh, we giving you a ride out?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I was about to say I'd want to do a club ride for it.
Yeah, the flight leaves at
Close
10,
up
so
of
probably
Maddie.
leaving no later than 9:30.
Travis, can we do it right now?
Of course we can.
Oh, sick. Thank you.
That's it for me.
You said 9 p.m. Eastern?
The flight leaves at 10, so leaving somewhere between 9 and 9:30 probably.
We can get you through security pretty fast. Gunshots tend to help spread out the people.
Yeah.
Mitch ain't here, so we can't take the terrorism route this time.
Well, Mitch was down and put it in as a fucking phone call. Jake?
Oh, thanks, Jax. Okay, so I want to dial back to everything that happened with. I'm assuming it's Brandon we're talking about. I'm not going to sugarcoat that we're talking about Brandon pulling all this shit, because Cameron and Marcus, neither of you guys are stupid enough to say shit about the chaplain like that. The amount of disrespect. I was standing right there when he said it, and I'm glad it was brought up because I was going to bring it up, but I love Brandon to death. He's like a brother to me, like all of you are. He's one of my best friends. But I am challenging him for his Enforcer Flash.
Oh shit!
The amount of disrespect seen there, and the Larry, the conversation that you said you had with him, because again, I'm picking up it's Brandon. It wasn't Marcus, it wasn't Cameron you had this conversation with, and for him to just throw the flash out like, what are you going to do about it? And everything that's going on, my concerns with his demeanor right now, I don't think he's fit to be an enforcer.
I just want to clarify something. The whole flash thing, Brandon it didn't go, what are you gonna do about it? It was more so a just take my flash if you don't believe I can do my job, and he kept threatening me with that, which is why eventually, after hearing it a couple of times in the span of 24 hours, I did what I did. I just want to clarify that so that, like, I'm not
That's
trying
fair.
to make Brandon look like he really like,
Did something he didn't do.
yeah, exactly.
That's fair. Okay.
And the like long conversation I had with him was about a lot of different things, and Flint was there for it. Honestly, Flint kind of like mediated it a little bit because it got kind of heated. And I'm not gonna bring up like the entire conversation, but I had concerns about Brandon, and
They're your moments.
I was effectively told that Brandon might have an addiction that I was unaware of, that I was told by certain people. And instead of assuming that that was the case, I talked to Viv about it, and I talked to Brandon about it to see, the full story, and to see like every side of everything before I make an assumption that he has an addiction and then act on it. To which I've been told by Brandon himself that he does not. He does cocaine now and then as like a party thing, but outside of that, he doesn't do cocaine as much.
Shane gave him cocaine the other day.
So I just wanted to clarify that, because I'm not gonna
Yikes.
give you guys half the story in any sort of sense, and I'm sorry if that's how that came across, but
That's fine.
yeah, it was all kind of sorted out. Yes, Viv, I think was next, maybe.
Yeah. Or unless, Anna, would you like to say something first?
I was just gonna say that if a challenge proceeds, I'm gonna say no, because whether he has an addiction or not, whether he claims to or not, I would rather him seek some kind of therapy before going right to a challenge. But obviously we
That's fair.
cannot force that. That's just what I would personally recommend or hope he would at least investigate.
I mean, I don't think the cocaine has anything to do with behavior, and I never mind. I didn't have my hand up.
So I will say that his lack of better terms, addiction to cocaine, he can call it whatever he wants, but his use of it has nothing to do with my thought of his disrespect of our chaplain and his attitude or demeanor. And to the blatant disrespect of the chaplain is the main core of why I'm challenging him as an enforcer. If his addiction shows that that's part of the reason why he's being like this, and he's been snippy and had attitude with it, and it's not just the stress of the war, then I mean, I guess I can have a conversation with him first, but I was kind of hoping he would be here because I was going to have that conversation in front of everybody.
Viv? You want to say your piece?
Yeah, I do. I do want to say my piece, and I'm gonna try and stay as calm as possible. I want to make something abundantly clear to each and every single one of you, and to the ones that aren't here, you can say whatever you want to them. Brandon does not have any form of addiction. He had addiction at one point when we started dating, but that has gone out the window because we had a big sit-down conversation and we worked through shit. Brandon has had some shit on his plate. You know what I mean? Like, you all have outside of the fucking club or in the club or whatever, right? Nobody's fucking perfect. He's had his moments and he's clean and he's just doing his thing. Now, what's hurtful on that side of things, for not only me, but for Brandon, when somebody bitches behind his back and doesn't even have the balls to go to him directly and ask, hey, are you struggling? Do you have an addiction? But instead goes to the fucking president without actually taking a minute to fucking speak to him directly. Do you know how fucking disrespectful that is? If you have an issue or you want to fucking ask somebody something, just go to him and ask him. He's approachable. He'll fucking speak to you. Like, he will. And I understand what went down, you know, for the club. Listen, he's my fucking boyfriend. We're partners, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You're probably looking at me saying this shit, but my route is the fucking club. And the way he spoke to Brit, yeah, you know, it wasn't right, considering, you know, she is the chaplain and, like, it's important that we, you know, she's there to mediate and we need to respect that and stuff. But I just want to make something very clear too. If somebody deals with something, right, their way, and they go, hey, I can't deal with this right now. I need to go over here to just take a minute to breathe. Jax, I know you like to do that, and I'm not pointing you out, but I'm just saying, I know you like to walk away, like, process shit, and then you'll come back, and then you can, like, talk it through. And I respect you for that, because that's your way of dealing with things. But some people, like Brandon and myself, we deal with things head on. So, like, Brandon, for example, he probably saw red because you walked away from him. And then, you know, while he didn't approach it right, and I'm not defending him in that regard, I know that he could have been more tactful about the way he approached you. He probably saw red because he was like, oh shit, he's walking away from me, he doesn't want to fucking deal with me. He's gonna go bitch now in a corner to somebody, or he's gonna say this, this, and this. And, like, it really is frustrating because I feel like Brandon's being painted as this fucking, you know, there was other people making mistakes as well. There was other fucking people making mistakes, and that's what bothers me, is the fact that, like, I know he did fuck up in a lot of ways, and he's not here to defend himself. So while I respect what you've said, Jake, and while I respect that you bring it to the table, and, you know, you said your piece, you know, if he was here, it'd probably be nicer to be able to say it to his face. But what I'm trying to get at is, like, with the war going on now and all the shit that's happening with the war, like, we're all under stress. We're all fucking at each other's throats. Sorry, I'm really trying here. We're all at each other's throats. We're all fucking, you know, tensions are high because we're stuck here in this fucking compound. We can't go out because we need everybody around us all the time. And obviously, you know, people's tensions get fucking high. That's what fucking happens. We're all adults. And, like, I think we need to have common ground and understand that, like, instead of just, like, walking away from somebody, or instead of coming at somebody all guns blazing, we need to have a middle ground of just like, hey, I need a minute. Give me a minute to gather my thoughts and then come back to it. And, you know, it's stuff like that that makes a difference. And what went down that day, you know, Brandon wasn't the only one that fucked up. And I just want that said. I don't want his name dragged through the mud, because yes, he made mistakes, but at the same time, you know, he was standing up for what he believed in his enforcer position. And I get it, you know, he approached it wrong. But Brandon has an itch. He just fucking wants to go out. He wants to fucking just, you know, be useful in the position he's in. He's an enforcer, for fuck's sake. He's an enforcer, and that's what enforcers do. They, you know, that's what the fucking, it's like, I'm enforcing to go out and, like, get shit done. He wants to do that, and he hasn't had a fucking proper chance to do it. So I can see why he's just frustrated, but at the same time, I know it was decided that I wasn't there, but I know that it was decided that it was down to Devil's Dice. But I'm just trying to defend the way he thought in that moment and why he might have seen red. I'm not speaking for him. Obviously, he can do that for himself. But I just want to say my piece because he loves this club and he loves all of you, truly. And I just don't want to see his name being smeared like that, because it's really upsetting to me, because you don't get to see him, like, when we go home together, how much he loves this club, and that's the thing. The club's core values and his love for this club is truly what drives him. And yeah, that's all I really want to say about it.
I'll let Travis go.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, so back to the challenge, because we don't need to talk about him when he's not here. We just need to decide what we're gonna do about it.
Okay, but I'm just, like, saying, you know what I mean?
No, I understand. You were defending him, and I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying that's not what this is about. This is to decide Jake's right to challenge someone he feels isn't doing the job that he should. The defending and the discussion comes next week.
Yeah, we don't hold the vote tonight.
I said my piece.
And
like everyone else says, and you said your piece, so I should be allowed to say my piece too, Jake.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm just going to say thank you for sharing your opinion on it, and to go out and defend Brendan. Like, that's fair. That's totally fair. I personally have not seen him since that incident and have not had the chance to pull him aside. But in my personal opinion, this is not something I'm going to stew on for a week before I can get a chance to talk to him, to bring it up at church, to wait another week to vote on it. This is all based on the experience that I had standing right in front of me, where he then stormed off. And also with the Devil's Dice game, he decided that he was the only one that wasn't going to play for it. And I know he's itching to go out. He's itching to get stuff done. The decision was made that that's how we were doing it, but he said, I'm an enforcer, I'm going out. And then Marcus was also in the game of Devil's Dice, played the game of Devil's Dice just fine. But it's the way he handled himself that personally did not sit well with me, which is why I'm challenging him. But I am willing to hold off the challenge until I can talk to him face to face. But I will say that I am probably still going to challenge him based on his actions.
I just want to make one thing clear. This table and members table is for any member here to say whatever the fuck they want regarding whatever the fuck they want. So
thank you, Larry, because
Viv
honestly,
is
like, I'm sorry,
completely
but
in the
like,
right here.
like, I'm really, you know what I mean? I don't feel at any church that I've been at, I've been able to fucking say my piece. And to have somebody fucking speak respectfully, Travis, but fuck me sometimes, piss me the fuck off. Because, like, I'm literally just, like, trying to defend somebody who's not here. And like, it's frustrating because, like, obviously I wasn't there, right? I wasn't there. But at the same time, when you hear somebody being fucking, like, ganged up on and spoken about like that, not only right here, but behind his back as well. Like, it's not okay. And this is the main fucking problem, is nobody wants to fucking speak to each other. But my main issue was when fucking Larry told me that people were bitching and speaking about his fucking drug addiction, like, not even having the balls to approach him and fucking going behind his back. That's so fucking disrespectful. Seriously, so disrespectful.
Jax.
I just have one thing to say on that, and then I'll give it over to Jax. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think it's being a little bit like misconstrued. Like, as I told you during our conversation, Viv, I asked you about it because, first of all, Brandon hadn't been around for myself or anyone to, you know, face the conversation head on. There was nothing for us, like, we couldn't talk to because he wasn't here, and that is completely fine. Don't get me wrong, but that is why I went and asked you, because I knew that you're close to him. So I asked you out of, like, respect, and I talked to Brandon about that later that day, and he also wanted me to come straight to him. But as I told him as well,
speaking of,
I didn't have the opportunity to do that. So I tried to get as much clarification as I could.
I just want to say as well, sorry, just real quick. Another thing that I think we all need to fucking get our heads on about is if you don't trust somebody in this club, go and fucking talk to them and tell them to their face that there's the reasoning behind why you don't trust them. Like, give them a fucking list. Don't... Hearing those words, I don't trust this person, that frustrates the fucking shit out of me, because everybody does this thing where we talk about we're a big fucking family. Well, maybe if you actually went out of your way to try and like speak to somebody and like figure out how you can get over that hurdle of not trusting somebody, that bothers the fuck out of me. So with respect, if you feel that, okay, you might not be able to see the person that you feel those feelings about, but next you see them, just fucking maybe try to do that, because if we're a family, how can we be if we're already saying we don't trust somebody? That's not right. I'm sorry, it's not right. We're a club. We need to trust each other.
Wait, Jax, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I was going to say was I had every plan to talk with Brandon, since it was me and him that had the issue that day. I mean, I would prefer it to be one-on-one between me and Brandon. I don't want it really to be really a big deal right now in front of this club. Brandon had his opinions and how he wanted to handle things, and I had my state, and I don't want that to be like a whole fucking argument in front of the club. And that's even if it will be an argument. I feel like when I get a chance to sit with him, I mean, he's fucking here right now, so I have the opportunity to sit down with him after church and hash things out. And that was my goal the next time I saw him, because obviously a lot of like that whole thing and the basis of your challenge involves me, Jake, so I want to be able to have my sit down with him, because ultimately he had an issue with how I decided things, and his actions were based off of that. So I would like to just make sure that me and him are square, and then you can have that conversation to talk with him and then go from there, because while yes, it's a big deal, I think we made it a bigger deal than what it needed to be as well.
All right. Well, before we get too far into explaining things, Brandon, you should know. I want you to hear it from me. Your actions with your conversation with Jax, and then you turning to Britt and just asking Britt, "What is it you do?" I
didn't say that.
I was standing right there, Brandon.
Hold on.
That was between me and Jax.
Brandon, let him just finish.
Okay, sorry.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
You know how much I love you, brother. But to look at the chaplain and go, what do you do? That was so disrespectful, and it was concerning for me. And then on top of that, coming to church and hearing that you had asked a prospect to get cocaine for you during a time of war, where we are at war over a cocaine lab, or you tasked the prospect, you didn't ask them to get it for you, you tasked them with it. I brought it to the table that I wanted to challenge your enforcer flesh. But I'm willing to have a sit-down conversation with you now that you're here. I haven't seen you since that incident, and I will have a one-on-one with you before I bring it to the table.
What do you mean bring it to the table? Like you're the challenge, or?
Yes. You weren't here for me to have a conversation with you in front of everybody, but I wanted to know genuinely just what the fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I can fill you in. I can fill everybody in if you want me to.
I'll leave that up to you. If you want to have that conversation here, we can have that conversation here.
I think the what do you even do comment is so that was directed towards Jax, because me and Jax were having a back and forth. And when Brett said that, I basically was saying, like, maybe I could have been a little bit more respectful. I should have been more respectful. But I basically wanted to just iron it out with me and Jax. And I think I don't have like any harsh blood towards Jax. I mean, we got into an argument, and then, you know, to me, it's water under the bridge. Like, I got no beef with Jax. But Jax was saying, like, you know, something along the lines of like, were you even here? Or something like that. And then I was responding, what did you even do? And that was the dialogue between me and Jax. And it was just, you know, Britt kind of came in and said her piece. And then I kind of said, you know, I'm talking to Jax. And then I went right back to talk to Jax. So that wasn't a slight at Britt at all. The only thing I was telling Britt was just like, I'm working it out with Jax. And, you know, I was, like, you know, there's probably a better way to approach that. Like, obviously. But that comment wasn't to Britt. I don't obviously know, you know, who Britt talks to, and like, what do you even do? That like, obviously I know what the chaplain does. It's a big responsibility. That wasn't to Britt. That was just me and Jax having a little tiff, and, you know, me just throwing back shit in the heat of the argument. And like, I think people like Larry, like last night when I talked to Larry, he's on the impression like, you know, Jax walked away and then I came and attacked Jax. And Jax, I don't know if you want to admit it or not, but as Jax was walking away, he said something about slapping my little bitch face, or slapping my face and calling me a bitch. And so then when I came back up, I mean, like, I just think there's more to the convo, and I think people are getting, you know, they're not having a conversation. And I mean, you can have it with me and Jax. I don't care. But I think that, like, my intent going into that whole situation isn't like, I'm an enforcer, I'm fucking pulling flash, I'm doing this. Like, my intent was, Larry's like, hey, we're going to have a group go out. And he was talking about doing devil's dice. And as Butch is in here, I just stepped up. I thought I was doing, you know, what was right for the club, what was right for my role. I thought I was, you know, as an enforcer, like, I'm going to lead this charge. So, you know, I want to be one of the people going. Like, that's part of, you know, in my opinion, that was part of my responsibilities. And I thought I was stepping up and taking charge. It wasn't like, you know, I'm just here to fucking, you know, oh, I'm an enforcer, you know, that wasn't the intent. And yeah, me and Jax got into it, and I should have just let bygones be bygones, and that be that. But the comment to Britt was just more along the lines of like, me and Jax have, you know, had disagreements before, and we just talk and we figure it out. And anyway, that's basically my side of the story.
Which I feel should have been gone far sooner. I felt like your side should have been gotten sooner in some parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's kind of what I was kind of upset yesterday, because then I wake up and Vivi's saying that, you know, Larry's asking her if I do coke and telling her, like, you know, all the shit that went down. And it was just like, I don't know. I was upset yesterday then, because I'm like, you know, this is something that should come to me, you know, not to Vivi. And it just felt like a behind my back type of situation. And so that's when you know, me and Larry kind of got into it, and I was telling him like I don't think he knew the full picture of what happened. And I think there's a lot of like third hand, second hand of what happened and what was said and who it was to. Like, I'm not here to cause issues. Like, I'm here to do a job and to, like, protect my family. And that was the intent of the entire fucking thing. And the emotions got involved because I give a fuck. Like, this is my life. And like, I got nothing against anybody. I don't got anything against Britt. I don't got anything Jax. I don't got anything Larry. Like,
I don't think Larry's paying attention, so I'm just gonna say it. I was fucking standing right there between the two of you. I know what you said, and I heard what you said, and I heard how you said it, and you turned to Britt when you said those words, and then you later told 2 more people that you did it on purpose to get a rise out of Jax.
Okay, you want me to respond to that or no?
Can I just say my piece for?
Yeah.
I just want to say I never called you a bitch. I said don't talk to me like that again, or I'll beat your ass. The reason why I said or beat your ass is because a lot of the time, sometimes fists are needed to resolve issues. And my main issue of why I walked away was because, to me, in that context, we as a group decided to do devil's dice. again, to me, it seemed like you were using your flash to guarantee your spot. I understand that enforcers should be involved when it comes to conflict. I was a sergeant. I understand that wholeheartedly. How I took it, though, was you circumventing what we agreed upon as a group to make sure that you were involved, regardless if you won or lost the game. Again, that is how I took it, which is why I excluded myself from that, because I disagreed with it being, in my eyes, being tainted. So I walked away. You then stated, walk away like you always do, which is why I said, do not talk to me like that or I'll beat your ass. Because to me, it felt like you were shooting a shot at me for when I left church, which again is what it is. I admitted that I left church. I've apologized to who it affected the most. I paid my fine, and I understand that you're frustrated with that, and that's fine. I just wish you would have pulled me aside if you were still frustrated about it. And then when I had walked up on top, I had asked you that I didn't want to hear it right now, meaning I did not want to discuss this because I was heated and I didn't want things to be said that shouldn't have been said, or, you know, both of us are very, when we get heated, we just go off.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that to happen. And you still wanted that to happen, which is why I didn't say a lot. I wanted to hold back. And when it comes to what you directed at Britt, I cannot say for certain. I have shit fucking memory, unfortunately. But you did turn to her and say something, and then turn back towards me and continue going off on me.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you walked in, I wanted to pull you aside regardless to talk to you about it. I've had no ill will against you even since then. When I heard that you had said to multiple people that you did it on purpose to test me, I was going to discuss that more with you in person. Obviously, if you did that for that reason, it's kind of shitty, because I feel like a conversation could have just been had for you to know if I can handle myself or not. I don't think somebody needs to be tested on it. But at the end of the day, I personally, for that situation, I don't hold anything against you. You know, I wanted to just have the conversation and, like you said, put water under the bridge.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like point all fingers at fucking Jake here, but I had nothing to, I had no intentions of ever challenging you or anything like that. And even if the challenge went through right now, I would say no, because I want to have that conversation with you and put that behind us, because Vivi has said this too. We do too much of shit talking of one another instead of fixing our issues. So I'm all for having that conversation after church or whenever you want to, because I feel like certain things can just be between me and you. It doesn't need to be in front of this entire club.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of just spiraled. Like,
I think listening to the retorts as well, though, like, you know, both of you were in the wrong with the way it was handled. So I think in future, you know what I mean, like, just try and meet in the middle and kind of understand each other's signs. I think that's what we all need to do with each other. If we all kind of have an idea as to how we deal with like conflict with each other, then we can just, you know, be like, right, well, this person just needs a minute to think, and then whatever.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, I was literally just trying to step up. It wasn't a claim to fame, you know, honest to God. And obviously, yeah, you know, I should have handled myself a little bit better, Jax. You know, I should have just let it go. And, you know, we could obviously, you know, talk about it. But in terms of, like, you know, just doing it on purpose, that obviously didn't happen on purpose. Like, we got into it. So once again, that's kind of misconstrued. I said I raised my voice because I know you're up for VP, and I was raising my voice. I wasn't going to be afraid to see, you know, how you took it and how others perceived it. It wasn't a intentional, let's get into it, you know, type of shit. But I think how you handled yourself was, you know, obviously the fucking, you know, the comment pissed me off, but I think you handled it well, and I think I should have handled myself better. And I don't have any ill will towards you. And I obviously need to talk to Britt, because I think in the whole heat of that shit, I think obviously if that's what Britt thinks I was saying that about her, then I need to talk to Britt.
You fully turned to her. You turned your back to Jax and looked at her as you said it. There was no misunderstanding there.
I'm telling you the dead ass truth, honest to God, like cut on the fucking table. Like I would not lie about that. If I said it, I said it, and I'd be a man and own up to it. But that was not towards Britt. That was to Jax. And it was like, I mean, now we can talk to Flint about it, and like Flint was like, yeah, that would, that was. I thought that was to Jax too, because I mean, you guys were just literally going back and forth about, well, you're not even here, and what do you do? Like if it was to Britt, I would tell you. I got no reason to lie. But I mean, you can, obviously you have your own opinion, and you're entitled to it, and I'm not going to argue about it. But I'm just telling you, that was not to Britt. I talked to Britt, and the only thing I was saying to Britt was basically I just wanted to talk to Jax, and I was in the heat of the moment, and I should have took a step back, and I need to apologize to Britt. But I was upset, and then as Jax was walking away, it was kind of like, I took that as like a fuck you. And obviously that wasn't the case. He was just walking away trying to diffuse. And that's why I need to handle that better. And that's why I wanted to talk to Jax. But it just seems like, everybody else has been talking about it but me and him. And then it just seemed like everything was going, third person. Everybody else is hearing something and making a claim to what happened. And
yeah, no, I don't know about anybody else as well. Sorry for cutting over you, Brandon. But if, I know that their job is, to mediate and stuff. But I can hand on heart say, if I felt threatened and I felt like there was an argument coming on, if somebody came at me and was like, right, we need to relax or calm down, my instant reaction is like I'm dealing with the person in front of me. I just give me a minute to just sort this out, because I'd feel the exact same way.
I mean, I talked to Britt that night, after it happened on top of the roof with Cameron, and she didn't seem like she was upset at all. And I wish if she would have just said something to me then. And so obviously I need to talk to Britt.
Yep. Well, now that I've gotten the conversation with you on that, what's the other thing that I had a big issue with was putting a prospect up to go get cocaine for you. Or the piece that I said. Lizard?
Here, I can
Maddie,
cut in for that one for a second.
Maddie?
Liz approached me the other night about it. I think when y'all went out on the 29th to go to the pillbox in the hair salon, she said that she was off to the side talking with you, and I think she said she was with Marcus and Flint as well. Well, you all four went out, but you two were off to the side, and it was a topic brought up about her getting a Coke bag for you, and it made her feel pretty uncomfortable. She only brought it up to me because I was finally able to pull her to the side, and she told me she was gonna wait for the right time to tell me or Jax about it. I was looking to talk with you as well, but I don't think you were around at the time. But I did bring it up to Larry and Bubba at the time, just so they were made note of it, that was something Liz brought up to me, and I'm very curious as well on what the context of that was.
Yeah. So it's not the first time I've given this a prospect that task, and it's been said in front of multiple members before. But the idea behind that task is it's not something that's something easy. You're just gonna go down the street and find somebody selling dope, and you're gonna come down. It's a task, something that the prospect's gonna have to put a little bit on the line, do a little extra work, and it's something that I, like I said, I think it's a task that they really got to put their ear to the street, and they really got to do a little extra digging. And anyways, if that's not okay, then, that duly noted. I wish, once again, that they would have just talked to me. But the concept behind it is just, having them do something that's a little challenging and seeing if they can come through. And obviously a test, are they willing to break the law? Are they willing to, put their ear to the street? It's not about the drugs means nothing. I mean, we can throw it away. It was just more of the context of putting in work to get it.
I I'm just gonna ask a very quick question, and I know people had their hands up before me. I'm sorry, but I just want to ask before I forget.
Yeah.
I guess what I don't understand with that specifically is why you're sending them out to get cocaine. Like, yeah, it's difficult to get, but getting a pump shotgun from rummaging is also as difficult. And with the stance this club has on cocaine, especially now, and also the stance we generally have about drugs in terms of like we don't do that as a club.
Yeah, that wasn't. Nobody's gonna make them do it.
Yeah, it just feels a little off to me that we're sending a prospect out to do something that has nothing to do with the club, if that makes sense. And I'm not trying to be like disrespectful.
No, yeah,
It's
no,
just-
I get it. Like, it
I
was
feel
just
like
a-
that could be changed to, you know, get a gun or, you know, shotgun, whatever.
Sure.
Just
It was more about the task, and I feel like this was a while ago. I don't know if it was before we were officially at like a war with Pillbox Cartel.
It was 2 days ago we were.
Like 2 days ago, we're at war. Or?
The 29th,
What do you mean, like-
Maddie said,
We were
is
at
when
war
Lizard.
because it was the night Marcus had to go get his medication from the hospital.
Yeah. Yep.
So we were in conflict then.
Okay.
I just
don't
want to
know if it
say
was next.
2 seconds,
And more for 2 weeks.
if that's okay. Just 2 seconds. You did this with PP as well, and
Yeah.
we nixed that. Remember last time?
Yeah. Yep. He couldn't get it. He tried. He was like working his ass off. He went to Cayo. He did a bunch of shit. Couldn't. But he put the effort in, and so we said, "Fuck it. Like, you're good."
Yeah,
But it
but me
wasn't
and
like-
Bubba nixed it not because he was good, because he put in the effort. We nixed it because it was dangerous.
Like, Bubba had explained to me everything he did, and he's like, "So we're gonna call it good." And I said, "Yeah, no problem." So there wasn't a conversation to be like that. We shouldn't do that. And if that, you know, obviously that's being perceived negatively. So, you know, easy enough. Like,
Yeah, again, that's why I wanted to talk to you on the side about it.
like it was just about the task. It wasn't like, you know, we can stop on the drugs and flush them. It wasn't about that.
All right, I think Flint may have been next, maybe.
Yeah, he was.
I was, but I'm good.
Okay. Anna.
Just kind of half answered, half not. Or my tangents were kind of said, but on the we could just flush it or not thing, it doesn't really matter if we can just flush it. The club, not only here, but across the world, has been very anti-hard drug in general. It shouldn't even ever be thought of. We also have our own addicts here, and when you task a prospect or anybody in the club, they hear about it, and then it's another thing on their mind to think about again. And also, prospects, although they are not full patch members of the club, to us, to the public, to cops, to whoever, they represent the club. If they are caught doing anything with drugs, especially hard drugs like cocaine, that goes on their record. It spreads, it comes back to us. If we claim to be anti-drug, we should not be sending our people to do it. Ideally, in personal time, they're not doing it either, because it only makes us more of a target for other groups and the cops. To me, at least, it's a no-brainer. Just keep it away from the club. It shouldn't even be thought of as a task.
It's inconsiderate to the people in the club that are dealing with.
PP.
So, did we know that Liz is a recovering addict? With like coke and pills and shit?
She's not recovering from coke, from what she told me, but other opioids in a sense.
When I was taking her to go look for PBC, I had a lot of time to get to know Liz and talk to her and shit. She has problems with painkillers and coke. So my question is what if she did get her hands on coke, and she did all that fucking coke, and now she's off the wagon. What then?
I mean, I feel like it's a loaded question. I didn't know that, obviously, and obviously everyone, consensus is not a good idea. So easy enough, not going to happen. But I would hope that she would have enough, internal strength that she could, withstand that.
She's a prospect being tasked. She's expected to listen to a patch member.
Let alone an enforcer.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like that she didn't have to snort the coke. Nobody said she got to do drugs. Like, I did like. It was just a difficult task, and that was it. Like, that was it.
I'll let BB go before I speak.
Yeah, I was just going to say, then maybe we should need to implement something when somebody joins as a prospect to tell us that, they have issues with that kind of thing. Now, I do know that the club doesn't deal with hard drugs anyway, but maybe it's just like a heads up if, something happens and they, I don't know, like the fucking shit that's happening now with the war. What happens, like, you know what I mean? We're standing outside a cocaine facility, like fucking making the shit. Like, we should, I know it's like somebody's personal business, but like telling PP and not telling the people who gave her the task or whatever, like, do you know what I mean? Do you not think that's important?
She shouldn't have to fucking broadcast the things she's struggling with to everyone, though.
Yeah, but that's funny because you know what? Everybody's speaking about Brandon's previous fucking issues. So I mean, let's really think about that. Think about that without fucking saying it to him.
Good night, guys.
It's okay if I go before you, Jess? Or do you want to go?
No, it's alright.
It may clarify something you were going to say as well. That stuff is kind of brought to the Secretary and Treasurer as well, or it's meant to be, at least noted down, to some degree. Obviously, it's been a rough time since it got prospected, so it hasn't been able to get brought forth. But I also think it's important for people, as River said, to get to know the prospect before doing a task like that to a degree that could be damaging like that, and to also or in a way argue what you said, Brandon, about, well, she wasn't tasked to snort it. As you would know as a recovering addict as well, it's not that simple if you have it in your possession.
Look, like I said, somebody just had to come talk to me, and bad idea done. Not gonna happen. Like,
I just found out about it today.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, like I said, I was planning to come to you as well about it, talk, and I still plan to after this to have a bit more of a one-on-one talk and some things that were decided here today. So,
yes.
Okay, so I think in the future we shouldn't be asking anybody to do anything drug related. First of all, our standpoint as a club with drugs, and secondly, whether someone has an issue with drugs, they shouldn't have to tell us whether they do or not, because we shouldn't be asking people to do that. There's plenty of other stuff we can give things for people to do. That's it.
I stand by my statement. We shouldn't, if that's the case, then you're like, you know what I mean, anybody around here that has an issue, you're just going to talk about their issues, and like if somebody comes to you in confidence.
But the club is anti-drug, so we shouldn't be asking anybody to do anything to do with drugs.
I mean, we have club members making coke. Like, I don't get it. Like, club members do coke, club members make coke. But like Anna was saying, well, you're tied to the club, so I just don't like. I get it. I get it. It's not gonna happen.
Discourage those people
it's
doing
a gray area, and that's the reason I tasked it. It wasn't because I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I didn't know, obviously, and if I would have known, I wouldn't have done it. But I didn't know.
Exactly.
And you don't know what you don't know. And if the club's decision, obviously here, we're not gonna do anything drug, and it's done. It's done. I got nothing else. Like,
I mean, if people personally want to do something, that is up to them. But I think as a club, we shouldn't be asking people in the future to do them.
Yeah, too easy.
I do think we did beat around that horse a lot. Like I said, Brandon, I'll get with you after just to discuss it a bit one-on-one, which I get, you understand it's a no-go in the future, but just some other things regarding prospect test I'll get with you about as well.
Cameron?
Real quick, just not even as a devil's advocate thing, but I'm a little saddened that Liz did not feel comfortable saying to him, this isn't something I'm comfortable with because I am recovering. And I ain't blaming her not one whit. She thinks that this is something that she has to do as a prospect, but at the same time, we should be encouraging them to have their own backbones, to have their own minds, and to speak up if something just don't feel right. Like they shouldn't feel like they have to do everything. That's just like a general prospecting that maybe we need to encourage them to be just a little more independent.
Is on my to-do list to talk
So that
with her
we, yeah, so that we don't get these situations.
Hannah.
Although I do agree that prospects shouldn't be afraid to speak up in regards to things like addiction, that's a whole different thing. There are always going to be some topics for people that they will just not be able to bring up, no matter what position they're in. Like, I don't think I've told the majority of you that I am also a recovering addict, because it is not an easy thing to say. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. And if I had been a prospect and somebody tasked me with that, I also probably would not have said anything. Because even the mention of it can send you spiraling. I'm lucky that I've been relatively sober from things for a while, but I have spiraled a few times because the club would just talk about it. I would see club members snorting shit near the compound. I personally don't expect a prospect of all people to mention their addiction when tasked with something like that.
I don't even think they really have to say that much. Like just having the wherewithal to say I ain't comfortable with this. I don't want to do it. Should be enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. Don't have to get somebody's life story to at least just say, I don't want anything to do with this drug. I don't want anything to do with fucking whatever. Like, you don't have to go into a life story. It's general consent, and I think it's important that we at least have something that we can at least, you know, give the prospect to just know that they're safe.
Go ahead, Benny.
This is probably the last thing I'll say on it. I will say that she did voice that she, from the context that was given at least, that she did seem to be uncomfortable with it, and it seemed like she was trying to voice it. But that's what I might get with you afterwards, Brandon, as well. So we don't need to discuss it further, in my opinion. I can get with you after just to see how that conversation went and where I need to work on her with that too. So.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's uncomfortable, obviously that's a no-brainer. Like, they don't got to touch it. Like, but obviously, you know, moving forward, it's done. Like, it's done.
Can we move forward?
Yeah. I just want to say one more thing.
Do your last thing, and then I'm gonna wrap it up because.
We also have to remember, in the prospect phase, they know they're in a very hefty trial phase, so even if they're uncomfortable, sometimes people will say yes because they view it as potentially a test. You know, they hear how other clubs run things, and they don't realize that we are ran differently. We don't really discuss that with any prospects whatsoever about how we judge them or anything like that. And a lot of the time when people get through their prospecting phase and I hear them go, oh, that's a lot different than what I expected, or, you know, I expected this, and this. And I think I agree with, I think just a more general conversation needs to be had with our prospects with what are you comfortable with, what are you not comfortable with. But we also have a bylaws that slightly pertains to this, that you wouldn't ask a prospect to do something that you also wouldn't do. If you think in any way, shape, or form you wouldn't be comfortable with doing something, regardless of where you are in your life, at any point, if you weren't comfortable with doing this, most likely that person could be in the same boat. So it's just a good thing to think about moving forward, and just asking in general, not just this one thing with Liz, just with any of our prospects moving forward. But even if it is as simple as fucking go find us a gun, just being like, because there was a point where Britt almost didn't make it into this club because we thought she didn't want to do crime. And it was a conversation we just never had with her, when in reality she was fine with doing crime. So, and that falls a lot on the sponsors. That falls on me and Maddie for not having at least somewhat of a conversation on what she is and is not comfortable with. But at the end of the day, moving forward as a club and as a family, we need to just kind of hold each other to the same standards with prospects.
We need to start taking care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Going forward, we don't task prospects with any drug-related matter at all, period. We have never done that as a club. We are probably never going to do it as a club in terms of business and things like that. What people do on their personal time, I've always said that that is your personal shit, and I'm not going to, like, tell people what they can and cannot do outside of these walls and outside of the club. Yeah. When it comes to like everything you said about you know, communicating with the prospects and all that, I think that is much needed as well, and I also think it's needed for sponsors to communicate these things about their prospects to other members as well, so that they are aware of important shit like this going forward. And that should probably be one of those, when they get their prospect cut, you sit them down as a sponsor and you learn as much as possible about the prospect before they're given any tasks to do. I know there's some things for like I wouldn't say prospect guidelines per se, but like there's a couple of documents that are being created to kind of guide people a little bit more on the whole prospect thing and how to like move forward with it and what to test them on and things like that. So we'll try and get that going in this upcoming week. Other than that, I think it's time we can like move on from this subject now. It's been a lot of good conversation, I think. Shit like this is healthy. I kind of wish it happened outside of church, between the people that it's about. Because then we don't have to like have these long churches. But at the end of the day, I think, at least to an extent, things were solved a little bit. So moving forward, let's just try and be fucking open about things and talk to each other, figure shit out before you start going behind others' backs and asking questions that you could have asked the individual you're talking to. And I think that is something everyone here needs to start doing, including myself. Jake.
Yeah, I just want to say that I've heard what I need to say. I'm going to withdraw the challenge if possible. But if I already put it on the table and we can't withdraw it, then it is what it is.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with it being withdrawn.
Yeah. Okay, anyone else have anything else they want to say? Like in terms of like the members table, anything else that needs to be brought up? No? Okay. Get out of here, have the conversations that are needed to have. If you have an issue with people or if there's something you want to clarify. And when you've done that, it's time to go ham on Pillbox Cartel. So I want people to gear up and be ready to go out. All right, that's it. Jax, Marcus, I want you to stay here.
Thanks. Brandon, I do want to still chat with you at some point tonight, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to go up to the side and talk real quick?
Yeah. Would you mind?
Damn it!
waiting
Go,
a
go!
bit?
Oh!
My bad.
Do you want me to wait outside, Larry?
You want to go to like the campfire area or whatever? Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm going to call it there. It's about 2.5 hour stream, which is normal, but normally I would stay up. But I have some visitors over. I have some family visiting, and I want to spend time with them and not be on the computer all night. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing the church. Appreciate each and every one of you, and wish you the best of the week. Enjoy. Bye-bye.